Hey guys, the UK government just made an update on the government website as regards the standard visitor visa into the UK, and this update allows some new nationals to be able to move into the UK without applying for the standard visitor visa for tourism or for business purposes or for study for a course that is not up to 6 months. So it's really a good news. It means that many of those nationals or many of the nationals in these countries I'll be listing in this video do not need to apply for the visitor visa anymore to move into the UK for maximum of 2 years. That's a good news. So if this will interest you, don't go anywhere, keep watching till the end. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, please click on the red subscribe button below to join this amazing growing family. And for my 20 subscribers, you guys are amazing. Thank you for the love. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Coming to the UK on the standard visitor visa allow individuals from different countries across the world to move into the UK for tourism, for business purposes, to study a course that is not up to 6 months, and for many other permitted reasons. However, the UK government has made a partnership with the GCC. Now, the GCC is known as the Gulf Cooperation Council, and now this is a political and economic alliance of 6 different countries. Now, these countries countries under the GCC are now allowed by the UK government to come into the UK on a visiting visa for 2 years. It means that unlike the regular 6 months visiting visa issued by the UK government, if you're a national of the GCC, then you're now allowed to move into the UK on a visiting visa for the maximum of 2 years. Now, what are the countries that are under the GCC? The countries include Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates, UAE. So if you're a national of any of these countries I just mentioned, you don't need to apply for a visiting visa to come into the UK. Now, citizens of these countries will be issued an electronic travel authorization, which is known as an ETA, valid for 2 years for only £10 or $12, which is really a good thing, because coming to the UK on visiting visa, the process can really be long and frustrating sometimes, especially if you're unable to meet up with the required documentation and eligibility criteria. However, if you're a national of any of these countries I just mentioned, the good thing is that you can now be issued an ETA to move into the UK and leave, go to and fro outside and inside the UK for 2 years, and this will only cost £10, which is really an improvement. Now, before the UK government made this particular change in policy, if GCC nationals are to pay £30 or $37 to apply for a document to visit the UK. So it's confirmed that citizens of the Gulf Cooperation Council states and Jordan will be able to apply for an ETA and then move into the UK for the maximum of 2 years. So that's one of the updates that has been made by the UK government as regards immigration and visas. And my thoughts around this is basically the government is just trying to create more alliances with other growing economy to be able to attract their individuals into the UK and create good political and economic alliances with other countries. Now, for other countries like citizens of Nigeria and many of the African countries that we still don't have the opportunity to just apply for ETA to move into the UK, applying for visiting visa can really be a bit trickish, but the good thing is that it's with the right information, one can really apply, one can really get this visa. Now, you can visit the UK as a standard visitor for tourism, business, or study, and for this study, the cost must not be more than 6 months, and other permitted activity. You can usually stay in the UK for up to 6 months. You might be able to apply for to stay for longer in certain circumstances, for example, to get medical treatment. So you can prolong your visiting visa in the UK for medical reasons. Now, some of the eligibility criteria or some of the requirements you need to meet before you can apply for a visiting visa, because this is one of the many questions that I get a lot from people as regards how to apply for a standard visitor visa into the UK. Now, for you to apply for a visitor visa, you must have a passport or travel document to enter the UK, and it should be valid for the period or for the whole period you'll be staying in the UK. So if you're planning to stay in the UK from January 2024 to June 2024, you can apply with a passport that is going to expire in May 2024. So it has to be valid for the period of your stay in the United Kingdom. You must also be able to show that you will leave the country at the end of your stay. Now, this can be a bit tricky. Many people I know someone who got denied a couple of days ago because they couldn't, fathom or confirm that it's going to come back into the country after it gets to the UK. We also provide evidence that you're going to go back after your visit. Probably show proof of full employment back in your home country or something, just basically a towel back to your home country. And also, you must be able to support yourself and your dependent during the trip. So you might need you might need an account statement or a proof of funds to show that you have enough financial capacity, so you don't come into the UK and become a nuisance to them, and you'll be able to pay for your return or onward journey, or have fundings from someone else to pay for the journey. So for instance, if I'm bringing any of my parents into the UK on a visitor visa, I'm going to provide an account statement to show that I'm able to fund their trip to and fro and sort out their living expenses while they are in the UK on the visiting visa. And you will not live in the UK for extended period through frequent or successive visits, or make the UK your main home. So if you're applying for a standard visitor visa, if you need a visitor visa, you must apply online before you travel to the UK and attend an appointment at a visa application center. Now, the earliest time you can apply for a visitor visa is 3 months before you travel. So if you're planning to come in November, it means that you can apply for the visiting visa in May. You have to wait towards 3 months before your proposed time of travel. And depending on your nationality, you may not need a visa to visit the country, which I already mentioned about the GCC and some other citizens or nationals that don't need visa to move into the UK on the visiting visa. Now, the visa fee, you can apply for a standard visitor visa if you visit the UK regularly. You can choose to apply for a long-term standard visitor visa instead. Now, for a standard visitor visa, it costs £100 and the maximum length of stay is 6 months. You can also apply for standard visitor visa for medical reason. That costs £200 and the maximum length of stay is 11 months. You can also apply for visitor visa for academics. That costs £200 also and the maximum length of stay is 12 months. You can also apply for a 2-year long-term standard visitor visa. That costs £376 and you can only stay for 6 months per visit. So even if you have a 2-year standard visiting visa, you can only stay in the UK for a maximum of 6 months per visit. You can also apply for 5 years and 10 years long-term standard visitor visa, and the cost is £670 and £837 respectively. Now, the documents you need to provide for you to apply for a visiting visa is that you must have a date you're planning to travel to the UK, where you'll be staying during visits, how much you think your trip will cost, your current home address and how long you've lived there, your parents' name and date of birth, if known, how much you earn in a year. You need to share with them your income, the detail of any criminal, civil or immigration offenses you may have committed. Now, depending on individual situation, you may also be required to provide other things like details of your travel history in the past 10 years, your employer's address and telephone, your partner's name, date of birth and passport number, the name and address of anyone paying for your trip, the name, address, passport number of any of your family member you have in the UK, and many others. So these are all the documents really depending on your status while applying. And also, what some of the things you can do if you get a visitor visa: you can go for tourism, you can see your friend, you can volunteer for 30 days, you can pass through the UK to another country, and many other things. However, some of the things you can't do on a visitor visa is to do a paid or unpaid work for a UK company or as a self-employed person, to claim public fund, to live in the UK for a long time, a long period of time through frequent and successive travel, and to marry or register a civil partnership. These are some of the things you can't do on a visitor visa. So these are some information as regards the visitor visa here in the UK. If you have any question, please state in the comment section. If you find this video resourceful, please click on the like button, and if you're coming across my channel for the very first time, please click on the red subscribe button below to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.